Okay, there it goes. All right, everyone say hi to Chig because he's going to dump on us real quick.
Hey, Chig.
Hi,
Chig.
Chig. You guys all have a good show.
We just don't want you struck by lightning while we're recording.
Yeah,
true.
well, exactly.
We can't lose our Chig leader.
No.
See this? They're throwing me out of here, everybody. This is Roy's fault. He joins the show and just starts dictating who gets to stay and who gets to go.
You sheriff of town.
That can't be true because I keep showing up.
I mean, he has a point. Yeah.
No, I just when we get enough people, I can take a night off. And damn it, does this count as me being on the show now? Though that'd be lame.
Yeah, it does. It
counts. This is my 200th episode.
Spreadsheet.
Yeah,
Well,
no, I mean,
be.
it's like when Nola pitched for 2 innings last night against the Dodgers, and then they brought in Ranger Suarez. Same thing.
New category.
I just need the Dodgers
spreadsheet.
to lose at all costs because I'm a Giants fan. So,
Oh wow, we got to do sports ball.
I mean, we could do
I think
sports
that was
ball.
allowed.
I mean, we have so many Formula One fans that play the game, but some
is
of us
it
like actually
300
sports ball.
Is that
There's not really a
categorized as
ball
sports
there.
ball? Yeah, that's more like sports wheel.
Yeah.
so is it the 305th episode of Loose Screws or the first episode of Loose Sports?
Loose
Good point.
balls.
Yes. Oh, there we go. There we go.
All right. You
Isn't
guys
that
have fun
Nurgle?
podcasting.
Have a
you,
good
Chig.
Chig.
Bye.
All right. Well,
And he
this
chugged away.
This is the 305th for the 9/3 of October 2025. Or
3311.
3311.
and this is the Loose Screws podcast.
Oh my God.
No, I don't know what that was.
Chug, come back.
It's going to be one of those nights.
Oh, just
Oh,
you wait.
I am what's left of Commander Lark after doing that. And I am joined today by the illustrious Blooming Wind,
Hello, everybody.
the incomparable Roy,
Good evening.
and Oblivious.
How's your mama and them? On brand.
Friggin' Southerners, man. It throws me off every time.
I did that for the Lave folks. They were trying to come up with a different opening.
Nice.
The last show, so not a tip of the hat to them. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, and before we ramble on for an hour or so and pollute your ears with our opinions, let's go around and see how everyone's week was, starting with Oblivious.
Oh well, real life. Just got back from 4 days down at the lake. Had a lot of fun. Took the puppy down there and introduced the puppy to the woods and the lakes, and she chased geese all over the place, and she did some wading. It was just a lot of fun watching this little one grow up out in that space. And in game, just been doing some mining. Casual, what I call casual mining. I haven't bothered to trick out the Type 11 with a different refinery and to add some more cargo space to it. I think it's just for the casual amount of mining I'm doing. It's just perfect for that. I did take a trip to offload the carrier, and I'd heard about the problems about transferring your materials onto another ship, in my case, the Clipper. And I did run into that issue where you would load your materials on and hit the transfer and nothing would happen. But I found that if I transferred everything except for one material in the category I was trying to transfer, everything went except for the one material. So maybe that's a workaround. I don't know. I need to experiment with it a little more.
No. And what if you have more cargo in your fleet carrier than you have carrying capacity on the ship you're trying to dump it onto? Because I got like 2,800.
That was not
tons
the case
platinum.
because I was
Yeah.
that wasn't my case. I had enough. Oh no, that's not true. I did have more material, but not in one category.
Okay.
Because I had all three of the elements that they were looking for.
Nice.
So I didn't have one element of maxing out the Panther. I don't think. Maybe I might have had more in platinum. I'm not sure. Right. You think that has something to do with it?
Oh, I have no idea, but I did. But I mean,
No.
that I have more. The solutions that people had brought up all sort of implied that you have less on your carrier than you have cargo carrying capacity on your ship. And so when you have far more, in this case, ore that you're trying to get onto, then let's say you're going to be taking multiple trips. That's where I've run into trouble.
Okay. Well, I made how many trips? I made at least 2 trips in the Clipper, so that should qualify then. So
Yeah.
Cool.
so there you go. Well, what about you, Bloom? What have you been up to?
What have I been up to? So it's just been an interesting week in our household. So my wife is down in Savannah again, helping her family out because we are going to become a great aunt and a great uncle this week.
Aw.
Congratulations.
My nephew and niece Zilla are having a baby, and we're excited for them, even though the niece-in-law has been quite the Instagram influencer about her baby. Social media is the bane of my existence. Anyway, so my sister-in-law and brother-in-law are heading up to Duke to greet the little baby, and my wife is going to help with the parents. So Saturday, while we were off and about, or my son had come home for the weekend, we get a call that my mother-in-law fell and broke her hip.
Oh, for crying out loud.
No.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
yeah. So she tripped over a rug by the sink. So if you're old, get rid of the rugs.
Rugs.
No
Get rid of
rugs.
no rugs in the house if you're old. And so fortunately, it was sort of the best case scenario as far as broken hips go. It's right at the neck of the femur. They were able to do what's called a hemiarthroplasty, where basically you cut off the head of the femur and then you put in a titanium head of the femur, and you're done. Yeah, they
That
didn't have to
sounds
do
fun.
They didn't have to do
Like a
anything
little
with
doorknob.
they didn't have to do anything with the pelvis. They didn't have to, it wasn't like a complex fracture of the femur where they had to do screws and
good.
plates and all that kind of stuff. I mean, when I kind of heard what they were doing, I was like, oh, thank God, because like no one could explain to us what was going on over the phone, because they're not medical. And so my sister-in-law took a picture of the little. So hospitals nowadays have these dry erase boards in the patient's room that kind of explain what the plan is for the day and stuff like that, the day of the day, because people get disoriented and all that. And it just said, plan hemiarthroplasty. And I was like, yes. And my wife's like, what are you happy about? I was like, that's the easiest operation. And so she's like, oh, good. Yeah. So of course I knew that. So she's already out of the hospital in a rehab hospital, and she should be coming home by the end of the week, this week, which is
That's fast.
yeah, it's fast. I mean, and then she's going to do home PT, which is good for my father-in-law because he's totally disoriented without her.
No.
Yeah, so it's just a whole bunch of drama in that household. But anyway, so that was my week out of game, and then my week in game, I've been mining, and I've been mining. And I've been mining some more, and I've been loving every minute of it.
You ought to go do some mining.
I am going to go do some mining. We're going to do some mining tonight after these sports ball games.
But have you tried mining?
I'm going to look into some mining.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Yeah, but I want to get all my stuff to the community goal station because we have some stuff that we're trying to do in a system, my colony system. So I've been negligent with that, and other people have been very helpful. We'll talk about that in the squad update.
Yeah. BGS still works in colony space, I've heard.
Yeah, well, we're going to talk about BGS working versus not working because there's an update.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Can't wait
yes.
for that.
Oh,
All
yes.
right. Next, it's your boy, Roy.
All right. Well, in Elite, my alt Fred handed in his platinum and osmium, got him into the 50th percentile in the CG.
Dang.
I'll be taking my main Roy out this weekend, I think, if it still lasts that long.
3.5 days.
Not in a T11 though. I'm not going to buy a second one of those. Just take him out in something and do a bit and get on the CG board. In real life, it's week 2 of batching it. My wife is also traveling to help family. So naturally, I played 40 hours of RimWorld.
Of course, as one does.
Of course.
As one does. Actually,
How
I
many
have a little...
colonies did you lose in that time?
No. I'm still actually on the beginner colony. The very first one from the
okay, good for
tutorial
you.
that drifted into the first playthrough.
And but by
And
the
if you
time I got to 40 hours, I had lost like 5. So
I'm being pretty cautious, and I'm on a
Oh,
lower
okay.
difficulty level. I'm trying to learn all the systems before I really, push the levers. But if
If
you'll
it
indulge
wasn't
me
for
for a moment,
RimWorld, you would,
Mm-hmm.
Fred would be in the top 25% right now. So
that's true. That's true.
that's my
I
bad.
don't think I have the same passion for mining that Bloom does.
RimWorld.
I think that trip to the south edge of the galaxy and probably 200 hours of tritium mining kind of beat it out of
Took
me
it out
for a
of you.
while.
Yeah.
Yeah. But actually, if you'll indulge me for just a minute, of the many dozens of hours of videos I was watching on RimWorld, I came across one that I think it gave a bit of maybe a reframing that I think is useful for Elite. So this video, it's the history of RimWorld. It's actually pretty interesting. It's one guy wrote the game, built a studio around it, and his whole mission with this game is that it's not a video game. He calls it a story generator. And I thought, well, that's an interesting framing. There's games that, if you think about arcade games, in the dawn of video games, they were all based on getting a score, and you had levels, and you had a number of lives. Not unlike the tutorial you were just playing before we came on air, Lark, that Chig was showing you in the beginning of the Elite.
We'll touch on that during the squad update because that might be something the squad can try.
Mm-hmm.
Great. So we'll come back to that. But the point is, this is not what RimWorld is, and it's not what the full game of Elite is either. Elite is also a story generator. And this was so obvious once he framed it that way. There's no win condition. You don't win Elite. There's no score. I mean, credits aren't really a score. And we talk a lot about a sandbox, and really headcanon is your story. That's the stories we generate as we play in the sandbox with each other. Yes. I just thought that was really a clever reframing of the game, and kind of put into focus for me why I like a lot of the games that I like, is they're more of a story generator than just a video game.
It's about the journey, not the score.
Exactly. So, Lark, what have you been up to?
Speaking of journeys, I'm still out here in the black.
Enjoying it?
I had a chance to log in like once since the last time I was on the podcast. And so I was still 20 jumps out from waypoint 4, and now I'm 13 jumps out from it, and literally just flying at this point because this isn't the part of space I'm really interested in on this trip. So I don't care.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And out of game, just been working, and I recommended RimWorld to both Roy and Tef very highly, and now they've both been sucked into it, and I'm sorry, everybody.
Completely.
No, I literally discovered that game from a streamer friend who played a little bit of RimWorld. So you know how I have like just over 3,000 hours in Elite? He has over 2,000 in RimWorld.
Wow.
It's nuts. And so I've seen the game upways and downways and finally bought it, and it's amazing. Would recommend to anybody. You can do it in long or short play sessions, but it'll always try and pull you in for a long one, so be warned.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but that's it for me. I'm otherwise doing good. And so let's move on to a squadron update.
Incoming priority message.
Squadron briefing.
And it's your social media influencer, Bloom. Ya boy, Bloom.
Oh, yeah. I'm the farthest thing from a social media influencer. Anyway. Yeah. So anyway, so the BGS might be waking up. Our friend KrugerFive posted a conversation from Serious Discord, and Phil from FDev dropped a message that they think they've unstuck things. They could have put it in the update notes, but no. So
Of course,
it
that
made
happens while
He
I'm
doesn't
in the
sound
middle
really
of
confident
nowhere.
in that message.
What'd you say?
Just saying. He doesn't sound very confident in that message.
No, he's not.
Think
And he
they
said,
lost
give it
it?
a few ticks. And when they gave it a few ticks, what I found was that in Screwspace, we had about 9 conflicts that were all pending. And some of them were pending for a very long time. All of them are live today.
Oh,
I mean, I have to probably go and visit some of the systems and see what day they're on and see if the days are updating or any of that kind of
Right.
stuff. But they went from pending to live. Only
I
one
would
of
give
them.
it at least another day to be sure, but that's promising.
Oh no, that's not it. That's not. You got to have to go to the end of the war and then see if it actually
Okay, so a
completes.
week.
And then if it awards assets correctly at the end of
Yes.
the war, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So
Of course,
basically, we got to.
we also they didn't say anything about whether sub-faction influence from missions are going to be applied correctly. So we've got some experimenting to do to just see what's fixed and what isn't.
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, that's the whole thing. It says, but seeing that things were unstuck en masse was at least a step in the right direction. I mean, I don't want, all these conflicts unlocked for just every system to become Myola.
Yeah.
Because that was just a fucking shit show. So anyway, we'll see, but it's a step. And then in Screwspace, we got another system bringing us up to 315 systems that we are in. We still only control 78. There are 9 systems in Boom, foreign investment. Some are paired with civil liberty or unrest. Do with that information what you will. And then in the Musca Dark region, UE-W A3-0, Deep Skrew One is online, and Uraniborg and Volt and maybe some others have been pushing our influence. Thank you very much, guys. We're less than 4% away from a control war. And once we get that control war, I can start expanding again out of that system to get us to our new mining hole. And then there's a couple other squad updates. The training challenge for the squad. Does someone want to take that? Because I'm not sure what that's about.
I'm not sure what it is either.
It was we were
You put
watching
it
you
in,
do
like,
it.
Everyone talk at once, quick.
We're
That was
watching you
Live.
do it. Yeah.
You were in the tutorial, right? The tutorial. Were you going to talk about that?
Oh, the challenge. Yeah, derp. So
Now we got Lark unstuck. There we go.
Someone check his meds.
it's late in the day, man. My meds have long since worn off. You get what you get. Oh shoot. So when Chick was hanging with us during the pre-show, he was talking about how he found these things that were added with Odyssey under the training from the main menu. And it's actually training challenges. And I haven't tried any of the others. I only tried the Incursion Elite one, which starts you out in a Python with multi-cannons and pulse lasers. And then it starts you with an Asp Explorer. And then you have to fight a Federal assault ship. And then you have to fight a Fertilance. And then you have to fight an Anaconda. All in one go with your Python Classic.
So to be clear, just to be clear, this is like a little pocket universe, just like CQC. It's not in the
So
you're not
it doesn't
in the
count for
main
anything.
game.
And fighting elite NPCs, I'm getting the hang of it, but it's still pretty challenging for me, especially in a friggin' Python Classic that doesn't have turrets, because good Lord, that's a ship that needs turrets.
And I'm assuming it's unengineered.
Unengineered, everything is just A-rated. That's what you get.
Oh, Lord.
It's got shield boosters. It's got okay armor. You've got your multi-cannons and lasers. Have fun. And that FDL pretty much kicked my butt because I like face tanking, and the Python was never very good at that. But I would recommend that to anyone in the squad. Like, honestly, like,
It looked fun.
give it a shot. And when you complete it, post in Chug Chat that you got it. And like how long it took you, how hard it was for you, all that stuff. I think this would be a fun thing for the whole squad to do. You can't do it together. It is just a solo activity because it's under training. But yeah, something we can all do at least. So
Cool.
do it.
Very cool.
Cool.
So this next item I thought would be timely, especially if we're on the cusp of the BGS perhaps being fixed.
Knock on wood.
We'll see. We'll see. As you know, I've been writing some songs with an AI generator for the Roy Stories, the musical. And
Side note, I actually can write music. So if you need help with that, send me a DM.
thank you. I can definitely use some help.
Okie dokie.
This song, so there's a song I want to share with you. And this one, so the inspiration for this came from This Week in Discord, Commander Chaos Time. We just chit-chat about stuff, and Commander Chaos Time came up with this sort of funny acronym for what screws meant. And in his acronym, in his
I know
acronym,
Chaos Time, so that's why I'm like, oh no.
in his acronym, R was for renegade. And right after Oblivious chimed in with, change renegade to redneck, and I'm in. And it just takes sometimes the smallest thing to send my mind on a tangent. So Oblivious, for those that don't know, is Loose Screw's War Master. He's responsible. We have several people in the squadron who are super smart about BGS and participate in main events and other confidential stuff and all these things. And Oblivious has a very, well, I don't know. Is War Master, are you like the top of the pyramid, or is maybe there's a secret pyramid too? I'm not sure exactly how all that
The
works.
top of the pyramid is like a butte. It's flat. It's a bunch of people.
Okay, so he's the War Master, and I thought of how he and others have been lamenting how the BGS hasn't been the same since colonization was introduced. So Oblivious, just throw some other things in. He was also featured in season 1 of Roy Stories Distant Screws, I almost said Deep Screws, Distant Screws 3 edition, where he helped the character Roy find an informant in the story. The interesting part that Oblivious and I had a laugh about was I do AI art when I write these, and the image that it created for him and I meeting in this dark space bar, and he shows up in this like really awesome military outfit, medals and stuff, and the AI draws this giant freaking dagger strapped to his belt.
Freaking cool dagger.
Yeah.
That was so cool.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. So that's just, I just gave you a bunch of stuff that kind of goes to the lyrics that I wrote for this. The style, I went a completely different direction from the first track that I wrote. And this is actually the 4th track I've written, by the way. We're still waiting for Adaxius to come back out of the Home Depot so we can, share that music with him.
Out of the Home Depot.
Growing up, I remember watching a lot of, there was a show called The Tommy Hunter Show. It was in Canada. It's a Canadian country music variety show. I used to watch it with my parents on a black and white TV. And this show had a lot of country music artists, including big American country stars. So I have that growing up, like a lot of folk music. I'll just call it really wholesome country music. And also one of my favorite movies is George Clooney's Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Oh, yeah.
And I could imagine this song being sung by a quartet folk band from that film. And I was telling the guys earlier today in the channel, the vibe I'm going for with this is wholesome. This is a wholesome song. Okay, so it's not funny. It's not snarky.
I was going to say that is a lot of preamble.
Yeah, here we go. Here it comes.
He don't talk loud, won't waste his breath at all. Reads BGS far better than the rest. Plans every job like fence post, plumb and true. A wagon wheel that rolls on through.
A wagon wheel that rolls on through. He shared a refined bourbon neat with Roy. Long dagger quiet hanging on his belt. He did him right a favor, clean and true. No strings to pull, just knowing who is who. No strings to pull, just knowing who is who.
He tips his hat, he walks with confidence. He plays fair, keeps all his promises. Small hammer first, then sight along the seam. Fix what's broken, leave it clean. Fix what's broken, leave it clean. Fix what's broken, leave it clean. Then colonize and rattled all the gears. Put waste of knowledge gathered over years.
The background's busted, cries won't ever rest. We count what's real and hope for the best. We count what's real and hope for the best.
Busted, still we roll along.
Our steady hand still searching for the truth.
The background's busted, we don't know how long.
We all keep the faith by soldiering on. We all keep the faith by soldiering on. In busted background, still we roll 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 on. In busted background, still we roll.
That was fan freaking tastic. And I'm
How's your
naming
mama
that
and
song. I'm naming that song, "Oh Screwer, Where Art Thou?"
Oh, geez. I will change the title.
Tune in next week, ladies and gentlemen. It'll be Open Letters to FDev, the musical.
Right? Oh no! Why
That
did
could
you
be
put
like
that in the universe oblivious?
Is that going to be like Alice's restaurant?
Oh, yeah. Well, thanks for
Oh
indulging.
shoot! In
I
my
hope you
head,
liked
the
it,
whole
Oblivious.
time that was playing, all I could imagine was like a Cobra Mark III with Oblivious and Roy in it, getting chased by an FDL around a surface station, like the big ones, and you're like hiding behind buildings and rotating when it comes around to try and find you. And it's like a whole Scooby-Doo scene.
Yeah, we need some a bib overall a texture for our spaces.
Yeah.
Oh, that was cool.
great. That was fantastic.
That was cool.
Thank you. Thank you. So we're going to do the PowerPlay update next. Is that what's next?
Yep.
Hey, the stinger.
This is the short PP report.
Target shields offline. Target destroyed.
It's average, so get your facts straight.
So before you guys go into it, I need to note from the last thing that Audaxius within those training challenges, there is a how to dock challenge. Just putting that out there.
Without the
Nice.
computer. Yes.
Take it away.
Who's
Unless
got
I
this?
win. Apparently
Who
I
knows
do.
the PowerPlay update?
Someone's got to give it.
All right, so
Okay.
we are in cycle 49. I thought Baromir was here for some reason, so I thought someone was going to get it. And in cycle 49, Archer is actually the most with new systems. He is up by 17, and that is unacceptable. Archer must die. Yong-Rui had the strongest week for 4 cycles in a row. Yong-Rui also has the most new strongholds and fortifieds, and Yong-Rui may overtake Emperor Arissa for number 2 in the next couple of cycles if we keep this up. So good job, fraternity guys.
Go frat boy.
Egg party at my place.
Well, we couldn't golf forever. I mean, that's all there was to it.
Yeah.
More in PowerPlay news. Kane and Antal are still battling for number 7 all the way down there. And looking at points per cycle per K5's elite, we may be heading for some stagnation in the leaderboards. And I was listening to Lave today, and Colin was talking about this as well. If something doesn't change. In both Nicey and KrugerFive's boards, once Yong-Rui takes number 2 and Torvald takes position 10 from Delane, if trends continue, it could be a very long time before there's any other changes, just because of how much everything is slowing down with the decay and the reinforcement. Oh, not reinforcement, and the undermining bullcrap and how hard it seems to be to undermine now. I agree with Colin on this from Lave Radio. It's just, it should be easier. That's all there is to it.
That's very interesting, isn't it? Because everything that we've heard going into PowerPlay 2 was that FDev did not want it going stagnant. They wanted it to keep it always moving, and a lot of the changes that they'd made was trying to ensure that would be the case, that there would be conflict, because we, not a bad conflict in a bad way, but just to keep things interesting. Because didn't the first Power Play version just come to a standstill as well?
Yeah,
and they wanted.
But
to
that
avoid
part
it
of the
this time
problem
around?
was the parties involved.
Yeah.
And with all of the agreements and treaties and all of that kind of stuff, things just
I
kind of
can show
came
them
to
where to put that agreement.
Yeah, I mean, things kind of came to a glacial halt. But with this, with the current situation, I mean, I am cautiously optimistic in the sense that we do see some negative numbers in the Cycle 49 board. I mean, Yong-Rui and Duval lost exploited systems.
Oh no!
So we lost 4 exploited systems, and Duval lost 5, and then Antal had 2 systems go from 45 to exploited. So I mean, it's a drop in the bucket. It's a few spots of red and a sea of green, but there is a little bit of negative movement. I mean, I think with Yong-Rui, pushing fortifieds and strongholds and reinforcing. We've had some vulnerable systems that were just ripe for the plucking that I think the Yong-Rui never really cared about defending.
Yeah.
So the ability to pick things off, I think, exists. It's just a matter of, being willing to do it. And as you said, the undermining is broken.
To that, exactly. You said the ability to pick it off can happen, but the undermining is broken.
Yeah.
So to pick it off means it's got to be a huge collective effort.
Yeah.
I think it's hard to do it in smaller groups. So that being said, the numbers that you said, there's, like your phrase was, there's been a few negatives.
Yeah.
And if it stays in its current state, that's all it's ever going to be is a few negatives, because there's not that much big effort going on around. I don't know. It just I agree with what
Mhm.
Trax has been saying. Is it just doesn't seem balanced on the undermining side of things. They've got to strengthen that at some point.
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, there's actually a really easy fix to this because they have disabled a bunch of
Play
things that were
RimWorld?
being. Huh, what?
Play
That's always the
RimWorld.
answer. Yeah.
No, so they disabled a bunch of undermining things that were straight up being exploited. And I know it's like, oh, how hard could it be? But there actually is a really easy fix to this.
Turn them back on.
Well, not just that. Turn both the classified data stealing from ports on foot on and the escape pods back on, but cap them. So every power play cycle, you can only turn in a certain amount of those two items and still get merits for them. And after you pass that number, you get nothing and it doesn't count for anything.
Per commander, per squad, per system.
Per commander.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it was per commander that was exploiting it. So if you do that per
Yeah.
commander, let's say 10 of each, you do your 10, it helped undermine, and it made a big difference because let's face it, it's those two things. But then if they really want to keep pushing that and use that to like flip a system, for instance, they would need an entire squad to do it. It can't just be 3 guys. They would need tons of people just running that stuff all cycle. You see what I'm saying? It gets more people involved that way.
Yeah.
Question. Do you think the stagnation could also be caused by people just working their way through the list of achievements they get as they go up in levels and they get all the
that's absolutely a
tchotchkes
problem too. Yes.
and then they're done, And it's just the hardcore people that are actually interested in the political gameplay that stick around.
Yep.
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 That's absolutely an issue as well. But that's not something I think that they can or should have to worry about because that just is what it is. That's the nature of the game.
Maybe we'll come back to that. I have some ideas about that maybe we'll come back to.
Well, hit me now because I've got literally nothing else.
And how much of this is also, with the geography of the different powers? I mean, how many of the powers have access to colony space in the sense of like that they can actually expand out, or how many of them are actually pinned in because they're in the middle of the bubble as opposed to the edges of the bubble?
Right.
I mean, that's something I wonder for some of these if they're just kind of a captive audience. Now, there's a lot of systems that got filled in that are ripe for expansion too, even in that space. I don't think everything's been filled up, just like everything's been ultimately colonized, I think, in the bubble. But everything, as far as power play, I don't think everything's been power played up yet. So I'm sure there's some of that for them as well.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, what I was going to bring up is there's nothing stopping them from putting more stuff at the top of the current ladder of achievements.
That's true too.
There could be more things that are more, let's call it end gamey, or there's other MMOs or live service games that keep adding things on. Destiny's exotics, for example. There's the Titan battles we had were sort of like raids. There could be they could lean more into that playbook, I guess is the point.
Absolutely.
They don't have to just leave the power play ladder somewhat similar to what the Power Play 1 ladder was in terms of I mean, I know they've added a lot more rewards to fill in the gaps, but they could still add more special modules and weapons and other things like that. There's nothing stopping them from that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Also, sidebar, I made it to waypoint 4 on Distant Screws 3. Woo!
Congratulations. That's awesome.
It's pretty. I like this.
Overcome your FOMO. You did good.
You're a FOMO.
You
All
stayed
right, now,
out
Roy,
there.
well, I'm not going to let you off the hook. What sort of modules or other shinies would you add to the prize? I mean, obviously, the idea of just having 2.0, prizes, like each power adds another one, and then you can you basically double your thing. What sorts of things would you add?
Well, I'm looking back here. Who was it in general that came up with the idea of a multi-module for SCO, overdrive, docking computer, and Super Cruise Assist.
Oh,
So-
shoot.
I think I talked about that to some degree. I mean, I brought up the idea of an SCO stabilizer.
Browski
Browski brought up the other part.
So there's I think a lot of things you could do with combo in the same way that they've got a multi-use limpet controller. You could combine other things and give some kind of downside, whether it's weight or heat or something. So there's that. They could, in the same way that they've made up special double engineered modules, they could do that. They could think of all the experimentals and just engineering effects that are never used, basically, because a lot of the things you engineer, there's one or two things that are the meta, or not even the meta, just the obvious choices, and the other ones don't get used. You could make those second effects on a double engineered. They've done a bit of that already, but you could make that into PowerPlay modules as well, like playing within the sandbox, if you will, of things they've already got. It's just putting them together, putting the Legos together in different ways.
Yeah. Now, Trax brought up
first step.
Trax brought up the idea of the shot cannons, and
Oh,
some
yeah.
sort of engineered shot cannon would be a lot
Yes,
of
please.
fun.
Yes.
Absolutely,
Well,
yes, please.
Think of all the other things. There's several things that you can't currently put engineering effects on that they could choose to do that with. All the Guardian stuff for starters, right?
Meta
What
alloy.
else? Yep. What
That's not
else?
technically Guardian. That's why I brought it up specifically.
No, but I'm thinking about the list of things you can't engineer right now.
Yeah.
There's several weapons and modules that currently can't be engineered, that there's nothing stopping them from putting that in as a special reward. It doesn't have to be just CGs that get the special modules for this. There's ways they could extend several more levels, I think, in PowerPlay, the PowerPlay ladder with that. Keep people engaged and make those progressions, geometric if you want. So it takes a while.
And if people complain about it being the grind, just don't even listen to them. Who cares?
Grind is good for the soul.
I would say it's not good for the soul, but it does have its place.
If you think about a diminishing returns kind of curve, you can get a lot of the early stuff in PowerPlay with a certain amount of effort. There's nothing wrong with making, and they do this to a certain extent now, but there's nothing wrong with making the really high stuff take longer and longer. There's some grind isn't bad. Like that's part of. There's some egregious grind you could have that turns people away from engaging with the loop at all, and I don't think that's the case right now. But there's nothing wrong with having geometrically increasing grind for super duper modules. Come up with whatever Elite wants to call an exotic, and you could get people engaged that way. Gives a long-term goal. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Like I'm hoping to get Concord cannons out of the amount of data I'm going to be bringing back from this trip.
Think about what the RimWorld creator, just to go back to that for a second, talked about,
There you
right?
go.
This is a story generator. By the time you get the thing, there's a letdown actually sometimes, because now you're like not in that journey to get the thing anymore. It's
I think
you don't win elite. You don't win elite. So things that can keep you
remorse.
things that can keep you going. There's nothing wrong with that.
I think you're vastly underestimating just how much I like cannons.
Okay, it doesn't have to be the Concord cannon. Having a next thing to go for, there's nothing wrong with that.
That's fair. That's fair. I'll give you that. No, shoot. Alrighty, so that is it for the Power Play point update. So let's move on to Galnet, and somebody say words now.
Words now.
The October Consortium defends control of HIP 87621. I watched the Galnet update on this. That was good. They talked about how, I think they're dropping breadcrumbs to keep this story alive. It begs the question, when is this story?
Yeah, that was
connected to
Folly, wasn't it? Or was that a different hit?
No, that's a different consortium. This is the October Consortium.
The October Consortium.
Oh, okay. Oh, never mind.
It begs the question if this is actually leading to the final game mechanic that's being updated this year, or if it's a standalone thing. I guess the more they keep kicking this down the road, the more it seems to be lining up with that. Basically, what's her name?
Terry Tora.
No, Lexi October. Lexi October was.
Oh, Lexi.
There's some flavor text basically saying that she has the permit and the news organizations aren't getting anything out of her about what they've found there. She's acknowledging, I think, that they've found something there that's special, and you'll just have to wait. And there's no real timeline. So they've put in, a little breadcrumb to keep it kind of warm on the back burner, but not really advancing the story other than saying, yes, there's something there.
But given that it's the October consortium, could it be possible that this is just a slow, could this just be a slow burn for the Halloween?
Maybe. It could be the Halloween event. Could be, I
I'd be
guess.
okay with that. The Halloween events have always been real good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's supposed to be something that blows explorers' minds, though. Like, is that going to be up to that level? If it's a Halloween tchotchke?
No, it's Terry's been found, guys. You haven't seen the note yet. She was never missing. It just turns out that Professor Frank never checked his spam filter. Her email's been there the whole time.
The whole time.
Yeah, and independent journalist Alexi Kill is actually a bot doing fake news.
Okay. So what, she's hanging out at Rackham's Reach up in the Pleasure Dome or something?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
Right.
Good. So hopefully more to, well, I think there'll be more to come on this. I don't know when. And also, obviously the community goal is still ongoing, delivering platinum, osmium, and painite to Malsberg Vision and Andair. We're at tier 5 of 9, 3.5 days left, and 15,801 participants. Just as a reminder, you don't need to be in a particular percentile to get the goodies, right? A decal and a paint job.
Correct.
Just need 1 ton.
Right.
1 ton will do it.
So no reason not to do 1 ton.
It's just credit awards for the upper levels. That's it.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Now I hear Trax is out there trying to steal 1 ton from someone. Has he been able to do that yet?
17. No, he's got a very specific number. It must be 17.
It has to be 17?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That is cargo bay space?
Yes, I guess.
Anyone know if he's gotten them yet?
Let's see.
He's been posting some stories of
he did
his
get some.
interactions.
He blew some people up. He got close to being blown up. Yeah, the interactions he's had, he's enjoyed. There just hasn't been enough of them.
Yeah,
he had one interesting story where he pulled somebody and a pirate came out of nowhere and said, he's under my protection because I already stole from him.
That's right.
Oh.
That was cool.
Yeah, that was really cool.
He got pulled by that guy. He was about to pull somebody, and somebody pulled him, said, no, under my protection.
Yeah, no. We're done here. We're done.
And now he's on track. He's on track for
level.
friends list. So that was pretty cool.
That's freaking awesome.
We were saying we should make that guy an honorary loose screw.
Oh, absolutely. Reminds me of, I don't remember which CG it was during the freaking Thargoid War, but one of the bajillion that there were. And I was hauling the thing that was needed so I could get the unlock easier than it would be to get whatever unlock it was. It was one of those ones. And so I'm in my T10 just cruising, like I have more cargo on it than not, but it's still basically ready for a fight. I mean, it's a Type 10, right? And this was back when I flew the dropship a lot more. And a pirate in a dropship pulled me, flying a dropship. And I was like, mad respect, bro, and just gave him whatever he asked for, and we went on our way. He's still on my friends list.
Nice.
It's fan-freaking-tastic. I love it.
All right, that's the Galnet updates.
Alrighty, moving on to the main discussion, because I think we've all already guessed what we think the next ship is going to be. That's what Lave Radio did this week. We've done that, right?
We have?
No, we have.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've done it a few times, I think.
Oh, we've had a discussion. Okay. All right. Gotcha.
Yeah. So someone, I don't know who put this in here, posed a question. Will the next Elite game feature something else from the MMO playbook? aka like World of Warcraft, EverQuest, Star Wars Galaxies. I'm gonna replace Destiny with Warframe because Destiny sucks now. And like, what do you guys think?
I think they've been following a playbook, right? It feels to me like since the beginning of 2024, obviously there's been a shift in marketing and development direction, monetization. I mean, I'm saying the obvious things that they're making money now
Right.
from pre-bought ships, pre-sale ships, and even like I think the one that most fit this was the overhaul to squadrons. While it doesn't seem to maybe add a ton of extra functionality, it's guilds. That's what the parallel is in
Yeah,
in
it
an
gives the
MMO.
vibe that's been missing.
Right. It's like they're going down a bullet list of here's what you need to have a live service MMO, and right. So what could be? I guess the question is, what do we think? If any of us have played any of these games and think about the mechanisms that are in these games, what do we think? Do we think they're still working their way down this list of things that could be more MMO related that they haven't done yet?
So looking
Any
at the
thoughts on that?
example list that was put there, I have played literally all of those games. And as far as like a big thing I think that's missing is just that teeny bit more of customization, like arcs for pillows in a fleet carrier. You know what I mean? Just little
Captain's
things.
Lounge. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Little things like that don't necessarily add a lot, but it adds just a little something for the my immersion people like me and Daxi, who would just eat that crap up every single day. And I would spend so much time just in my little captain's room, just being there, just because that's how I roll. And so, yeah, I would love stuff like that, but that's just me personally.
One thing, I'm not sure if you mentioned this, Bloom, as being disappointed in its absence or not, but when the squadron carriers came out, we don't have the ability to build missions for people or goals for people.
Yeah.
Right.
And I was wondering if that might be something that in the future that's more MMO like, where the squadron or the guild has more influence in a structured way in what they want, what goals they want the squadron to achieve through actual
Like-
mechanics in the game.
Like in Guild Wars 2, for example, they did that with a bulletin board thing of, hey, everyone, we're working on X and Y. So if you need something to do, go to this area and kill these things because we need this item.
Right, and they could tie it perhaps to colonization if there was
Exactly,
a squadron
yep.
colonization goal. Come up
Yeah, I
with
Like
mean,
the
I've
go
just-
mine
things we need.
X and bring it to Y so we can get Z refined out of it.
Bloom, you're going to say something?
Yeah, no,
Sorry,
yeah.
Bob.
I'm saying what I was saying was that, yeah, I mean, because like right now I'm working on my little colonization project, and it would be nice other than just simply, hey guys, this is what I'm doing now. This is what the next one is. This is what the next one is, to actually build it into the game. You know what I mean? So, so because I mean, I can always like forward Uraniborg, 50 million credits for the efforts that he has to triggering this war in this system. But it would be nice to actually build a mission in game as opposed to me just asking and using the squad bank to say thank you.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And I could see where people might think, well, that's a pretty complicated mechanic to put in the game. But we also didn't expect the ability to be able to hand place, ground
The
settlements.
story. Yeah.
In colonization. So they could still surprise us with this. And the money's going somewhere. The money they're making from all these pre-sales is going somewhere, hopefully into some of these interesting activities. The other thing, I would say there's two other things that are common to, I think, most of these MMOs. One is a player market, a larger player market, and the other one is raids. Now, you could argue that Thargoid War Titan, that was a kind of raid. Maybe if what's
I believe
happening
that.
with Territora turns into the fourth mechanic and it's some big bad new thing that's, I don't know, related to exploration, and it's something combat related, or like when when it was mentioned about the extended range on the the Dyson scanner thingy,
Right.
the plant scanner, one reason for that is, well, you can detect them further away. Another reason might be you can detect them without getting so close to them. If it's actually something you don't want to stumble on, maybe that's the reason. It's not so you can just go find the bacteria that's the same color as the snow. It's you want to be warned about the thing that might
about and kill
eat
you.
you.
Because
Yeah.
those worms are fast.
Anyone got a plasma
here we go.
rifle in the 60 to 80 watt range?
Yeah, only what you see here, sir.
Yeah.
Only what you see.
What do you make of all this, Oblivious? You come from the previous generation of gaming before MMOs really took off. What do you got?
Yeah, that's the point. Yeah, I haven't played any of the MMOs when they came out. I was deep in the corporate world and everything else was going on. So the closest I ever got to it was fighting with my son, who was on some WoW quest to go to bed because he had to go to school the next day. So
I love this.
I really don't have much to add there.
Wait, was that Sun
Something-
Tai?
No.
Where'd that come
Okay,
from?
carry on.
One of the mechanic I just remembered from, I think this was in Destiny. I don't think this is in Warframe, but in Destiny they had a thing, if I'm not misremembering, where veteran crews could get some rewards for taking along newbies on it wasn't a raid per se, but they had these in-between level events, weeklies, I
Yeah,
think
it
they
was
called
like
them.
a mini raid. It was a world boss, is what it was. I remember now.
Yeah, a
I played
mini
Destiny
raid.
2 for a while as well until Bungie decided to be Bungie, and here we are. And now I have like 1,000 hours in Warframe.
So imagine a mission where you can go along with a newer person and let them experience something that they're not quite prepared for, but they get the taste of it. Maybe it's Thargoid combat, maybe it's
Hey,
some other conflict zone, or it could be an on-foot thing. But they'll have the advantage of going in a formal way with a crew that knows what they're doing, and it's like a ride along, I guess.
Yeah.
That could be
Yeah.
a thing. So that was another idea.
Yeah, I mean, then there are new people coming to the game. It sounds like that
Well-
there's been some talk about new players coming to the game. So
Absolutely.
and people coming back to the game. So something that would allow them to, kind of develop their skills and cut their teeth and make something fun to interact with for more experienced players like us would be really a great thing. Because I mean, I love when new people come to our Discord and, on the Facebooks, I actively evangelize to the people like, hey, I'm looking for something to do in this game. I came back to it. And I'm like, dude, just come
I do
visit
the
our
same
Discord.
thing on Reddit.
Yep.
And that's great. And I wonder, though, especially think about how much discount there is now to buy. I don't know if that discount is still running, but on Steam, you could buy the
Could
game
get it
in
for like
Odyssey for like a few
$5,
bucks.
all of it.
$5. That's
Yeah.
obviously going to pull some people in. And I know we're kind of a big deal, but not everybody knows who we are. How many people actually know where our Discord is or listen to this podcast, right? Like there's a big percentage of people that come into the game and don't find this ecosystem of the podcasts and the Discords for a while. And I would say if there's 2 bullet points at the top of their elite FDev's, MMO cribbed playbook, number 1 is make this game easier for new people.
Yep.
And number 2 is make money, find ways to make money. And it seems like they're making a lot of headway on both, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
And if anyone's listening to this and not in our Discord, they'll go to loosescrews.com. That's loosescrewsed.com. Link to our Discord there.
Yeah, come by. It's a lot of fun.
We're really nerdy, I promise.
Yeah. Now, the thing I'm wondering is, will there be a new enemy? Because I mean, we just had the Thargoid
that.
War, and so the Thargoids are kind of now sidelined. I mean, you can always go somewhere and fight Thargoids, but sort of the big active combats and all those kind of things, we haven't had a good invasion or anything in a little bit. Maybe a new enemy. Everyone brings up the Guardian AI and that sort of thing, where we'd have to come up with new weapons and new styles of combat to fight ships that behave in a completely different manner.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because it's like I don't want like to reskin Thargoid ships, and have
Right,
Guardians just be
right.
like glowing Thargoid ships. So they'd have to come up with a completely different kind of ship that would require different tools and a different approach. I mean, maybe shield tank from hell. Make the
Yeah.
Guardian shield boosters, more useful than armor hit points.
Right, right.
A different, different kind of weapon. And instead of just anyway, I mean, I'm not the game designer, so
Somewhere
No,
a
they need to
Imperial
change up the
player
rock,
just
scissor,
Swede.
paper to something else.
yeah. So maybe make some of those human tech broker things useful. Make, meta alloy armor useful, and then you'd have to engineer it, but you'd have to engineer it to be reflective meta. Like it's completely different meta, and it's fun figuring out the metas.
I like that.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Why the hell
shake
did he do
everything up.
that?
Who did the what?
No, sorry. Sorry. The Phillies just lost. all he needed to do was throw the ball to first base. That's all he needed to do, and he like overthrew the catcher. I mean, like idiot.
Oh, jeez.
Sorry.
Come on, Philly.
It's over. So season's over.
Bryce
Oh,
couldn't.
goodness.
I wanted Bryce to get a chance, but come on.
I
man.
know. 11th inning. It was an 11th
Yeah.
inning. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Oh well.
yeah, Ryan Corcoran, poor guy. He's crying. So
Oh shoot! But back on the thing, I mean, you were talking about like new enemy.
Yes.
Yeah, nothing unites humanity better than murder. So
right.
why not make it complicated and make it a frenemy?
Yeah.
So like
They were.
another power that could technically be an enemy of humanity, but that isn't out there invading human systems. You see what I'm getting at?
Mhm.
So is this something they're going to find, you think, on the permit locked world? Would be the idea, like something, I don't know, buried or something? Or is this a tie into some other part of the galaxy? It opens up another permit lock region, maybe. What do you have any thoughts on
I
that?
think it is going to tie into one of the permit locked regions, and that's just going to be like the home base for whatever is there. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like
okay.
how the bubble is for humanity, one of those permit locked like areas is gonna be their bubble, whatever is they found and whatever it is.
Okay. That, having a big new baddie to fight could also introduce new kind of like raid mechanics like we had in the Thargoid War. Things that require, you can't just solo, that maybe even require more than a wing. It'd be great if they had mechanics that could be larger than one wing. Like there's a lot of
I don't think the
systems
netcode
that would
can handle
benefit from
that.
Maybe, maybe not. Who's to say? It certainly
Drew.
it hasn't handled it in the past, but maybe they come up with something new. Maybe they come up with something. Like if they're really angling towards more MMO style events, that would be something they have to figure out.
Yeah, maybe the next
get
update
more
will
than 4
port it
people
to
together.
the Unreal 5 engine, so everything will look fantastic and the netcode will be beautiful, but we'll all be dealing with performance issues because it's the Unreal 5 engine.
Right. Any more thoughts on this one?
Shoot.
Or
That's all I got.
What are they going to
Okay.
do for Halloween?
The snake
they do last
sector
year?
spiders are going to come back out and infest Audaxius's docking computer.
I think
Now,
you're going to be flying around mining your own business, and waves of glaives and scythes are going to come
God, that would be a horror show.
out of the
It would be.
out of the asteroid belt. It'll start.
my
You'll
God.
hear that little clicky noise that you
I'm
always
still
heard.
waiting for the other shoe to drop as to why we need an SLF in the T11. What is going to be this? I mean, doesn't it mean that they were anticipating there was going to be some combat in a ring for some reason?
I've actually
You
had
don't do combat when you're mining?
Well, yeah, but it's just the pirate NPCs, and they're not that hard, really.
Which is why you
I know.
only need the SLF.
That's
I
what I've been
guess.
using it for.
It makes
That's the
perfect
only
sense.
time I've ever used one. Okay, is because they forced me to have one in my ship, and I said, okay, so fine, I'll go fly this and shoot.
The
shoot
T11
NPC.
has enough weapon slots though that you can have the mining stuff you need and the weapons yourself.
Yeah,
too.
which I don't.
It's
I
quite
just
capable.
go with the SLF. So
Yeah, I have the
no,
SLFM
no
weapons.
practical reason. I just did that. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Okay.
but I've only run into like one or
Uh-oh.
two little pirates, so I haven't really gotten a chance to give it a good stress test.
I'm here. I clicked the wrong
Okay,
thing.
I just saw you pop in
Okay.
and out. You good?
Yeah, I'm good. I clicked the wrong button and suddenly I wasn't in the channel anymore.
Okay. Okay.
Awful. Just normal loose screws things. It's all under control.
Yep.
Nothing to see here.
All right, moving on.
Moving on.
On to the community corner. So go ahead.
I was going to say this first one, I put in this, I listened to Lave Radio this week and they were talking about, wouldn't it be nice if there was a map that showed you where people had explored in the galaxy, like a density heat map kind of thing. And I'm happy to report that this exists. If you go to ED Astro.
Did they forget ED Astro exists?
I don't know. I
Well,
think
they did.
No, actually, what Alex was wanting, he was wanting something a little more focused, I think, on the bubble, that would show. He described it like this. Yeah, okay, it's something of a heat map, but on the bubble, that would show discovered versus undiscovered within the bubble. Because I think it came out of the conversation as we've done colonization and so forth, people are have the feeling that they're having to go further out to find undiscoverables. So he was lamenting if we had a bit of a heat map that could show us. What this shows is just everything that's been explored, right?
Well,
So-
there is one of these maps where you can actually go through it, I thought, and it'll actually give you numbers of the density.
Okay.
Which one is it? So just to explain to people, ED Astro, it's a site, it's been around a long time, and they've got all these galaxy maps where they'll show you where people have traveled and different ways of filtering it. Because there's an interactive one. I don't know if the link I put here, I think the link I put here was one of the static pictures, so we have to get a different
that's
link.
static.
But there's
You know
an
where
interactive
the
one. There's an interactive one you can.
will eat your RAM like nobody's business.
Well, it is a heavy duty. There it is, interactive galaxy map. In this one, there's a drop down. Acknowledge. There's a drop down in the upper right where you can turn on and off regions, sectors, inhabited systems, uninhabited
Okay.
megaships, DSSA carriers, and then you can also filter it to show it by. There's different filters, like there's a heat map that's indexed. You can look at it logarithmic, saturation, star class, and as you zoom around the map, you get all this data of the density. So I think what he was saying was, imagine you had like bullseye rings, and then you could see like range
Right.
markers out from the bubble.
Right.
So there's maybe an extra step involved if you use this tool, but you can definitely get a sense of, because if there's a scale on here, you can get a sense of how far out and in what direction you need to go to get away from the explored stuff first, because it's definitely not a circle. You can go, there's some pockets to the south and just west of south, east of south, sort of that arc that definitely has unexplored things closer to the bubble. In addition to the obvious things of, don't stay on the path to Colonia or to Sag-A. That stuff is completely saturated.
So I have a couple of points on ED Astro. One, I used the interactive map to completely plan Distance Cruise 3. That was the one I used. Just looking for interesting things to go to out in a direction that is barely explored.
Well, and to that point, I think it's the third filter on the interactive drop down, saturation. If you choose that one, it gives you 6 different levels from barely explored to very heavily explored. So it's a little more, it takes into account the actual density versus how many stars are in that region. And that's where you see that the edges of the galaxy are as heavily explored as the bubble in terms of
Oh, yeah.
versus the percentage of stars there. And the center quarter of, if you imagine like the whole circumference of the whole diameter of the galaxy, roughly a quarter, almost a third of this from the center out is barely explored, just because there's such a high density there. That's where, probably 95% plus of the stars actually are. So.
Yeah, when I started planning Distance Cruise 3 on the interactive map, I basically told myself, okay, where is Daxy's Folly? Because that station, the asteroid station that's there is cool. I'm starting to get tired. Sorry, guys. I thought, where is Daxy's Folly? Because the asteroid station is cool. And from there, I just was scrolling around the map looking for interesting things to use as waypoints. And that's literally all I did.
Cool.
And so far,
that's
it turned out
right?
great. Yeah.
The next one, kudos to Alec Turner for inventing a new photographic category, rings in front of things.
Alec,
I
got an idea for you. Let's have SRVs jumping through those rings of limpets. And you get extra points if your SRV takes out a limpet in the process.
Yeah.
Going to be a lot of scorpions just like up to the limpets.
This is a whole new category of shenanigans. This sounds like a lot of fun.
I am on
Check
board.
out his video. We'll put a link in the show notes. It is a really fun video, really almost hypnotic watching what he's done there. It's very cool.
Yeah, and he even got a screenshot. He even got a stellar screenshot for one of his rings in front of things this week.
Oh, did he really?
He did.
Oh, that's hilarious.
You don't remember which one it was? Was it the Earth one?
It was in front of it was like at a space station or like a ground port or something.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, well-deserved.
Unique idea.
Yeah.
And that's Community Corner.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Well, boys, do you got anything else?
I don't got anything else.
I'm good. I'll put a link
Mark.
to Screws, Where Art Thou into the video and media channel for people to consume.
Perfect. All right. Well, gosh dang it, Oblivious, that totally screwed up my mojo.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you're listening to this podcast and not in our Discord, firstly, what are you doing? Like, seriously, come on, man. Go to loosescrewsed.com, click on the Discord link, get in there. We're fun, I promise. You can also find us on Patreon, where 100% of the money we get for that goes right back into the community, usually in the form of shenanigans for merch. I'm just going to be honest on that. All right, and for Commander Blooming Wind, Roy Cookson, Commander Oblivious, and myself on an ice planet out here in the Cyrillier sector, this has been the Loose Screws podcast. Say bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, y'all.
Love you. Say it back.